Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a big claim. Life is a cruel teacher, especially as you get older. By the time you realize something unsettling when you turn 60. The help you used to rely on for let it go may not be there in the how you thought your kids might have. Your parents are living their own lives. Likely, you may have even lost your friends, away, busy with their own problems. So, if you only count on family to carry you through your old age, I have news for you. That's not enough. Despair, not. Because even though the lie of dependence fades and new truths show up, there are 5 important pillars you need to build. Have 5 pillars that you can use if cultivated early and kept up working hard will get you through. These aren't the storms that come with life. They are useful for concrete ideas, some basic facts about being human. Your health is the strongest thing you have, base from which everything else when you turn 60, your life stops. This truth is made very clear in you can take your body when you're young, for granted getting better after being poor, lack of sleep, bad food, or the being careless about living like you're never beating. But as the years go by, the long-term effects of those decisions, what you ignored, will become impossible to avoid, then can come back to haunt you now, and it costs more to be sick. As people get older, the truth is simple but important. If your health collapses and everything else starts to break down your independence, arguably one of the most valuable things about a happy life is linked to your not having it. You're not healthy, left to depend on others, not by choice but because they have to. That's a weak spot place to be in, one that doesn't erode not just your freedom but also your sense of honor, as the good news is that it's never too late to take charge of your health. Even at age 60, there's a big what the difference is between just existing and do well, and that difference is based on how hard you're trying. Are you ready to put into keeping your mind and body? The first step is being aware that your body is not a machine that was made to run forever. It needs care if it hasn't been maintained. Pay close attention and work hard to keep functioning at its best. This means taking a structured approach to regular exercise and physical activity is not just a nice to have, it's a must-have. You don't need to play in the Olympics, but you should move every day, regularly and on purpose. Walking, by stretching, working out, or swimming can all help you keep your mobility and stop the stiffness that often comes with getting older. Movement keeps you. It's a statement about life that's linked to your life force and the world that could expect you to take a back seat or slow down. Food and nutrition are also very important. At age 60, your body can't handle as indulgence junk food, too much sugar, and a lot of processed foods can cause chronic health problems like diabetes and heart disease and joint pain. That takes away from having energy and vibrancy by eating well it's not about limits, it's about food. Lots of vegetables from whole foods, fruits, lean meats and good fats gives your body what it needs to heal itself, stay healthy and keep disease at bay. Also, don't forget that sleep is often thought of as a passive thing to do, but it's a strong way to do it, to get your mind and body back in shape. A good night's sleep can help fix the damage, wear and tear of daily life, helps your immune system, and makes your mind sharper. Clarity, ignoring how important it is the same to running a marathon without ever stopping for water. And finally, taking care of your health is when you show self-respect. You admit that you have to take care of yourself and people who care about you, because there is no way to promise perfect health. The work you put into keeping it in good shape can make the difference between life and death, limited by certain conditions, and one filled as well as freedom and possibility. Safety in money is one of the most important parts of a stable and living a full life, especially as you close to or pass the age of 60. At this point, your ability to make money through traditional methods may be going down, but the the cost of living is still high, and in many ways the truth is that financial. If you don't deal with stress, it can take away your clothes, for your own freedom and peace of mind, and the years you get to enjoy them to get ahead, which is why financial security it's not just about having money, being able to make choices and live your life with honor, and when you turn 60, you are sure of yourself. Often at the most important things in life, big changes for a lot of people. This is when people retire and have a steady that paycheck that could have kept you going for decades start to run out without a solid, the financial foundation. The idea of you may lose the stability you once had. Quickly, costs don't stop just because. Since your income does, there are still bills to cover medical costs prices are likely to go up, and the daily costs of living that don't stop no matter what age. These are facts that call for getting ready, and the earlier you start, the more you plan, the better off you'll be. Be in charge of their savings, and investments are what keep. Having enough money to work for a lifetime should give you more than just remembering things. That should give you a safety net that lets you get what you need, but deal with life's unknowns. Saving is more than just putting money away. It's about getting your money to work for you. If you want to invest, whether in real securities, bonds, or other types of real estate, give your money and other things time to grow. Interest that builds when you borrow money. When used wisely, small savings can grow into an important financial cushion even if you're starting to save money late. And smart investments can still make a way for more security debt to come in praise in silence. On the other hand, that could make everything you've built by age 60. Getting rid of or reducing debt should be a top priority that has important. Having financial obligations after retirement can put a lot of stress on your not enough resources, not much room in case of emergencies or unplanned costs. It's not just numbers that help you get out of debt. It's about taking back control and getting away from the stress and things you can't do when you owe money. It's not just about savings and debt. It's important to consider the unknown costs of getting older. Care in particular can be a big deal burden, even with insurance in place for these costs. Whether through extra health insurance, health savings, plans for long-term care or savings accounts can mean the difference between taking care of a health crisis and being the financial damage done by one financial. Having freedom is also part of being safe. To live your life the way you want to, it's the being able to travel, to do hobbies, helps loved ones, or just get by without them always being afraid of running out of being rich isn't what it's all about. About having money ready when managed. Being well protects you from life's there will always be unknowns at age 60. This buffer will become one of your most reliable helps you make sure you can live with respect, safety, and peace of mind. One of the most important reasons for is driving people's lives, and it gets even more important after age 60 and after decades. Your identity may be tied to jobs and responsibilities of raising kids, getting a job and keeping one household. These duties, while in their own way, they often tell the shape of your daily life, but as those duties become less important or fade away, a lot of people are facing a scary void without a clear sense of purpose. Life can feel like it's not being mowed, making you open to feelings of not being important or staying the same, but isn't something you lose, something you. The point of redefine at 60 is not about stuck on who you were before, but getting ready to become who you can be. This stage of life gives you a one-of-a-kind chance to pay attention to the things that really you free from many of your duties that might have held you back earlier. A chance to think about what you believe in, what you love, and what you want to leave behind. You don't have to leave behind a reason, grand or change the world. It only has to connect with you, whether it's giving your life to a cause, learning a new skill, teaching others, or just getting to know the people better, giving the people around you a reason to live, giving life meaning and direction. A strong sense of reason for being is also a strong answer to the problems that coming of age brings, can help you as you go through physical changes that affect how society works, or even lost purpose gives you a plan that stays with you and reminds you that even with these problems, there is still something to add. Having something to work towards gives you drive. You forward, changing the challenge into chances to grow, which helps you make sure that the years to come are not just a slowed line, but a time full of chance to be happy with your life and impact. And living with a purpose is linked to well-being studies in a deep way. Show over and over that people with having a strong sense of purpose, better health for your mind and body, more happiness in life, and even the goal of promoting longer life encourages you to stay busy, interested, and active. It forces you to stick to routines. Being with people and taking care of your body-mind, it makes you want to get up every day. Planned your day, knowing that you're to grow a sense of purpose. What you do matters. At this point, you have to be ready to look around when things aren't clear in life about what will make you happy satisfaction, especially if your last roles have shaped how you see identity. To start, ask yourself simple but deep questions about what brings you. How smart or skilled are you, joy? That can help other people, like what legacy does. You should leave these answers. Question will help you get there. Things to do and goals that line up. Being true to your core values is not a fixed endpoint, but a process that changes. It might change as you do, taking on new forms, changes shapes and forms as times change. But it's important to stay open. A life lived on purpose and with initiative for a reason is a life well lived. No matter what. Having a purpose at age 60 becomes your anchor, your guide and your constant source of life force as you go through it. And when you turn 60, it becomes clear that challenges are not a choice, will always be what define the quality of your life, though, is not what of hardship, but your ability to get through it, able to handle it with strength. And having an open mind is important in this, the most useful thing you can do for through the storms of getting older, and it decides whether you look at this stage of life as a time of decline or a chance for growth. Life, by its relationships with nature, are unpredictable changes. Physical abilities get worse, and losses keep happening. You can't stop them. Truths, but the way you think about them, how to understand and react to these facts, change the way you feel. Resilience is not denying pain or acting like it's not there. Everything is okay. It's about dealing with problems, honestly figuring out how to move and process them to move forward. It's the mental flexibility to change, to learn, and let go of things when the resilience that's needed isn't natural. It's cultivated through conscious work, and being self-aware is one of the most. A big problem with getting older is facing loss. This could be the loss of people you care about, who have jobs, or the physical skills you used to have. Taking these losses, even though they are painful, can also teach you important things. Thoughts on change and the worth of the being resilient in the present moment lets you feel both sadness and thanks at the same time, realizing that even though life is short, it is still full of. It's about being okay with what you can't change and putting your energy on what you can do to build a strong. How you think starts with kindness to yourself. By age 60, you've probably had your fair share of regrets, and it is simple to get caught in the trap of moments of self-criticism, rep-playing. You wish things had gone otherwise, but to be resilient, you have to forgive yourself. Having the knowledge that flaws are part of being human, instead of weighed down by the past, learn from it and allow it to help you grow. Another important part of resilience is life's problems often seem from this point of view. It was too much at the time. but over time and distance they mean something different. Getting better at taking a step back, and it's strong to look at the bigger picture. Tool that lets you tell them apart what's really important and what is only a short-term setback. Viewpoints help you solve problems. Who are interested instead of afraid to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Become more resilient is also closely linked to how well you can stay interested in the being alone in the world can lead to bad things, but something to do with people, ideas, or doing things that matter keeps your mind sharp. Being active and your outlook being positive. Spend time with people who make you feel good. Look for chances to push yourself. Think outside the box and broaden your views. Resilience needs both movement and rest. Both mentally and physically, it withers in being resilient in the face of stagnation, is when you have hope, you believe that no matter how hard things are right now, maybe there is always a chance for a fresh start, for joy, for something important. Looking ahead, having a strong mind doesn't just help you get through the hard times in life you to do well, even though they are there at 60 and up. This way of thinking becomes yours a base for getting through life with a lot of strength and drive. By the time you turn 60, one of the most important having realized is that your relationships define how good your life is, yet this realization also causes a change in family and mind, even if they are important. Not always be the strong support system you thought it would be. As kids get older, they build. Their partners are also getting old. And problems, as well as the whole family unit, might not always line up with your things you care about or need as you get older. This is why growing a carefully chosen people in your community who really make your life and walk with you through the rest of it. One of the most reliable sources is chapters, sources of comfort and satisfaction. At this point in time, community is not just quantity, but also quality. The number of the people you know are very important to you, not as strong as your connections. Several important things with them. Relationships that work both ways will last you a lot more than a long list of friends and family. These are the people who understand you and share your values, and they are not people who help you grow, bound to you by duty, but also by mutual respect, trust and care. But relationships that grew out of family duty, that these links are made of because they meant to, and because of that, carry special strength building. This kind of community work is needed, and with the intent to. When you're 60, friends don't just appear, must be cared for, which means taking the time to talk and listen. Spend money on the people you care about. It also means being ready to let go of. When it comes to relationships that drain you, no longer match who you are. We want our relationship to last forever, and an important part of building a strong community is figuring out which links to decide which to release first. There are many ways that curated community can look. Could include friends for life who have stood by you through the years, or could include relationships that are newer formed because of common interests, or wants to join groups, do volunteer work, or taking part in activities that cue with the things you love, are great ways to meet people who are like you and can become a part of your support system around. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. You push yourself and make me happy. Life makes sure that your social stays alive and important. A strong community is also a defense against one of the biggest risks of getting old. Being alone and lonely isn't just it has a real emotional toll on negative effects on your mind, and being part of a physical health network. Supportive helps fight this by keeping you in touch with other people, and being part of the world community gives you a sense of belonging and makes you think of that. You are not figuring out life's curves, challenges on their own at its core. A community is about carefully chosen. It's about making a shared humanity. area where people who know you value you and walk with you through the joys and struggles that this kind of community doesn't have built overnight. But the work you putting into it will pay off with support and companionship, and a deeper sense of belonging at 60 and up. These connections become one of the most important parts of a happy and strong life right now. The truth about these pillars is, they're not given to you. They don't fall from the sky, and you don't owe them anything by not your kids, not your partner, not society. They're yours. That's a scary amount of responsibility, thought. But it's also freeing because it means that you have the power to do this as you get close to 60. Or if you're already there, ask yourself, how strong do I need these pills? If they're weak, begin rebuilding. If they're strong, be careful to keep them up, because in the end, it's not what you depend on that matters most. It's what you've made for yourself, and in that, there is a lot of power and respect. Thanks for your hope.